Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the last phase of our Track Through the Barrens, in which each group will be creating a Google page highlighting their specific aspect of Barren County culture and or geography in order to get it out in front of the world. Remember our overall purpose: to make much of the beautiful county that we live in order to draw in visitors and boost our economy through tourism. Our county is great, historically great, and currently great. Even in 2006, voted the top rural county in the nation to live in. Think of Barren River Lake on the south side, where people love to recreate all year long through water skiing and possibly even through bass fishing and all the tournaments that we have. What about the north side of the county, where we have Mammoth Cave National Park, the largest cave system in the world and one of the seven wonders of the world? Local sports are fantastic, high school sports to the hot rods down in Bowling Green, and also the Glasgow Highland Games, which really kick off our summer in a fantastic fashion as we celebrate history and culture from around the world. Okay, what I want to do fairly quickly is go through the scoring guide for this Google site that you're creating. First of all, I need you to understand and know that you do have a little circle sheet that you're going to use to make sure that you have the requirements of the site, 2 to 3 pages, no wild colored fonts and things along those lines. You have that on hand, so use that. But this is the major content scoring guide that I'm going to use, and I'm going to go over this column right here, this 20-point column, which represents 80% accuracy, and this is the goal, and this is how you're going to meet the objective of this particular assignment. First of all, layout. Your web pages need to be laid out attractively, which means they don't need to be necessarily disorganized. They don't need to have stuff all over the place, but they need to be laid out well and with the mind of communicating effectively with them. People need to be able to navigate from one place to the other very well on your sites. Also, for content accuracy, says this: almost all the information provided by the student on the website is accurate, and all requirements of the assignment has been met. Concerning the information, I understand that you could get misinformation at times, and that may not be intentional. This is where you would fall at inside of that. Now, if you got all information correct, we would probably move you over to the 25-point category. But if you have a few mistakes, just a few mistakes, unintentional mistakes, you're really trying to communicate the truth, then you'd fall in this category. And also, all requirements of the assignment have been met, which means the content of the site that I've asked for, those are numeric requirements, 2 or 3 pages and things along those lines. That's where that would fall in. Concerning graphics, graphics are related to the theme and the purpose of the site and are of good quality, enhance reader interest or understanding. What I mean right there is I don't want you to throw in images and graphics and videos that you just like those pictures. I want you to throw in things that are related to what you're talking about, what you're discussing, and not something off on a tangent. It needs to aid in communicating what you're trying to communicate. Something good, a good quality about that particular part of culture or that particular part of geography in Barren County. And lastly, content. The site has a clearly stated purpose and theme, but may have 1 or 2 elements that does not seem to be related to it. We all have a clear purpose in that we're trying to attract people to Barren County. That's our purpose. Theme being slide layout. As far as when we get into the Google site, you'll see that you choose your themes. The theme is consistent across the board, also, but may have 1 or 2 elements that do not seem to be related to it. If you get 1 or 2 elements in there that you think are related or not necessarily related, this is where you would fall. Now, if your site meets this criteria and has no elements that aren't related, then you'd be over in the 25-point in the content. Okay, so now we're going to make the transition to the lab, and then we're going to begin our projects. Okay, everybody now should be at the Google page after we took a short pause there. From this point, after you're already logged in, I want you to go to the More tab and go down to Sites under the More tab. And if you've created a Google site before, you'll have your assortment, your list of Google sites. But for what we're going to do, I want you to create a new site. And from this point, you're entering the information you need. For example, you need to give your site a site name. So I'm going to type in BC for Barren County Tourism. And after that point, it's going to give you a URL that people can go to find your site with. The next line down says site description. It's optional. You can enter in a short description of your site if you like. You don't have to. Whatever you choose to do is perfectly fine with me. Mature content. Nobody has mature content on this site, so don't check that tab. Share with. I'm going to have you select right here only people I could specify, but eventually we'll change that to everyone in the world can view this site. Now, the theme for this site needs to be pretty much fitting to what you're talking about. Let's say I was doing Barren River Lake. I may use Terra Water. Just to give a good theme behind my lake site. So I'm going to choose my theme and go down here and type in the security code. I will say, if your first shot at typing in the security code does not work, just keep going till you get it, and we'll eventually get there. Now, the location I haven't chosen is not available, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a different one, BC Tourism Site. and then go from that point, and then I can create a site. So if you look at it, BC Tourism site is where I'm at, and this is the very beginning of your own site. So from this point, I want you to go to either create page or edit page. I would assume that you need to go to edit page first, because I want you to do your home page first. In this space right here, you would enter in information about the purpose of what you're doing. What is the goal of what you're doing, and what do you hope the audience gets from this particular site? So enter in that information there, and after that's entered in, you can hit save. And now that's officially entered into your site. From that point, you want to create a page. Now what I'm requiring in this assignment is you to create 2 to 3 different pages, 3 being a maximum, 2 being a minimum for this. If you're going to do the history of Barren River Lake, then you'll create a page called History. And leave that at put page at the top level. That's where it shows the name of that particular site, and hit create page. So now I'm at the history page, and from this point I can edit the history information, whatever I need to do. Special note on this, if you want to integrate in video, or you want to integrate in images of any kind, what you need to do is go to Insert, and you can choose what you want. Insert an image, insert a video from Google, or a video from YouTube, or whatever the case is. So you can insert those things there. Also notice up here you can change your font type, your font size, your lettering options, your colors, alignment, and things along those lines. Keep that in mind as you're working on your site. So all I'm requiring is 2 to 3 pages. You to use Google Sites to do this assignment. Now if you have any questions as you're working on this, feel free to ask me, or feel free to email me, or whatever the case is, and I'll help you all you can. So I'm going to be walking around the room now, you with your partner inside the lab. You all be working and beginning on your site there. Now you've got tons of information. I know that you researched. I've seen a lot of your all's work, and it's really good. So I want to see that work put into practice right here as you create your own Google site.